So, Cloudy made a hex shot. I wonder what else you could do to this thing. Ah! What's up, YouTube? Graver here, and I am here to review today the Nerf Mega Twinshock. Now, I've been kind of looking forward to this. This is kind of in my opinion, a blessing and a curse because the Nerf Twinshock is basically just a Mega Roughcut, which is really, really cool. However, I had actually already been working on this because my buddy Clowny had used a Roughcut along with the 3 Mega Barrels from the Dual Strike to create the Nerf Hot Shock. Or no, the Hex Shot. Sorry. The Mega Hex Shot, which was a 6-shot Nerf Roughcut with beefed up springs that was able to fire Mega Darts. And it was really cool. And then Nerf announced this thing. And I can tell you right now, Clowny got very salty very quickly. And I mean, honestly, I don't blame him, but in the same realm, you got to figure these things are probably in development for a while, and if we know anything about Nerf, more than one person can have an idea about something and have no idea somebody else is working on it. So, not a defense, but I'm just saying. The Twinshock basically works exactly like a Roughcut. You have your pump grip here, you have your smart AR here, and it's funny, in order to actually showcase the barrels properly like this, I actually have to put it on my shoulder, almost like a bazooka, because if I just did it like this, the front barrels would be right in the camera, and I don't think anyone wants to see that, because then you don't get to see my pretty sweaty face, because it is August in New Jersey, and it is hot in my garage. Anywho, the Twinshock has a 10 dart firing capacity, unlike the Roughcut, which is a 2x4. So this only fires 8. This actually fires 10, which is actually not bad. You get an extra shot out of it, and 4 more than out of the Hex Shot, even though the Hex Shot's a whole lot smaller than this beast. It's got the Smart AR system. It also has 2 tack rails, so you can put whatever really sights you want on it. If you want to get some 3D printed iron sights, those will probably go really well on this. But it's also a shotgun, so really, how well can you aim it? And it's also Nerf. But I gotta say, at short distances, I have a target set up there to collect darts now, and I can hit it pretty well from here. So there is a bit of aiming involved. To showcase how the Smart AR system works, I have 6 shots here. Not 10, because if I miss my target, I don't want to really be looking around for Mega Darts too much, because surprisingly, I don't have a lot of them. So the way I have this set up is, this is going to showcase a single trigger pull, so 2 shots at once. This is going to showcase how the stage trigger works. Yes, this does have a staged trigger, just like the Roughcut. But unlike the Roughcut, where you can very easily, even if you're trying, pull both triggers, because the travel distance on this is really short. Because of the bumped up size, the travel distance on the trigger, you can actually fire off individual shots a lot easier, or at least I have found it. And then this is just to showcase how the Smart AR works. It'll fire out of, I believe it should be this barrel first, and then you'll see it firing out of this barrel. And you'll notice that I have 4 barrels open, and it's just going to really kind of showcase that you don't have to cycle through and dry fire 4 times before you get to your next shot, in case you misload or something. So we'll fire off both shots at once. Alright, I missed and I barely pulled the trigger, so that's going to be the stage trigger now. So there's one, and there's the other, and you can even hear kind of clicking it almost. There's one, and there's the rest. you can hear where it's clicking, and you can see the difference in the travel distance, where you actually have a good deal of travel before you actually can get to the second shot. So here's both at once. And I'm going to do a staged fire again, just so you can see the individual shots here. Wow, my aim is off. But anywho, the aesthetics of this blaster now, just going over it, basic aesthetics any Mega Blaster really has. You have the solid red body with the white Mega lettering, because, you know, being a giant red blaster, you can't tell that it's already Mega. Black Nerf logo here, black lettering for the Twinshock right here, and the grips are the dark gray with the silver accents, very similar to the Magnus, which honestly I don't think we've seen for a while actually. On the other side, as always, no paint as of late, but they did actually letter Twinshock here, which I'm kind of surprised with, because I've actually seen some blasters where they'll do the lettering on the one side with the paint and actually not do it on the other side. So that's actually pretty cool. So that's everything on the aesthetics and the way this works. So now let's go to the workbench, open that bad boy up, and see if it really is the Roughcut clone we think it is. Okay, so we're here on the workbench. I've already unscrewed everything, and as you can see, I've taken off the priming handle and also this orange piece, which is right here. I wasn't 100% sure if this was part of the shell, so when I was removing all the screws, the bottom piece actually just fell right off. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll just take that off so it doesn't actually go flying anywhere. But because there are so many screws and there are different sized screws, I actually had to make a little roadmap on where all the screws go. And don't worry about following this exactly. This is honestly just my terrible, god-awful handwriting and just a mini map that I know where things are. But I do want to point out, though, while most of the screws are same sized, these two here are some of the longest screws I've ever actually seen. That's the screw. That's pretty big. So that kind of impressed me a little bit. So just put that to the side. Don't want to lose those. All right, so now let's open this up and see what we're all assuming is just the internals of a Roughcut double-sized. So, ow. When you're opening this, be careful, because the little ridges right here, they're actually kind of sharp. Ow. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm noticing you have indexing pieces on this side of the shell. So they're screwed in, so you don't have to worry about it, but just, you know, as precaution, if you're taking this thing apart for painting or whatever, you're either going to have to tape over those or just remove them. Just remember how you put them back in. I am not removing them, so there's that. So that's to the side. And here are the internals, and yes, this is a supersized Roughcut. You have your trigger here, which honestly I think is probably the biggest trigger that Nerf has ever made. Wow. All right. Okay, enough of that. So here you have your your two-stage and double primed catch mechanism. Wow, I just blanked on those words, but yeah, here's your catch mechanism. This is, it looks like a lock, so that when this is priming back, this is actually going to lock your catches in place. Either that or it's to keep them from moving. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, this is definitely tied to the priming, your priming handle. So yeah, I think when you're priming it this way, it just keeps the those in place. But regardless, you have your plunger system and smart AR system here. The smart AR system looks basically like every other smart AR system that Nerf has made so far, and looks just like the one in the Roughcut almost. And speaking of that, you have a Roughcut setup here. You have a gear assembly for your priming handle and your plunger tubes, or plunger rods. You have your plunger tubes here, which are side by side, one for each side. Two independent plunger rods so that you can actually fire shots individually, and a gear system, which you unfortunately kind of limits what you can do to this. I mean, there are things you can do to a Roughcut. Something I've been working on for a while. I just haven't finished my project, but if I can get it to work on a Roughcut, I'm definitely going to try it on this. But you could probably find some beefier springs to put in here. I wouldn't go too beefy. Only reason being is because you'll have issues with the gears either slipping or coming apart or stripping out or something. So unless you can get some better gears, don't go crazy on the spring load. But that's everything for the internals. I mean, they're super simple, very identical to a Roughcut, just on a bigger scale. So that's everything for this portion of my review. So I'm going to close this bad boy up, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts on it. All right, so my final thoughts on the Twinshock. So it's basically a oversized Roughcut that fires mega darts, and I'm okay with that. I love the Roughcut. I'm actually not a dissenter on megas. Honestly, if it was utilized a little more in, I could probably, if I went to more super stock wars, I'd probably utilize them a little bit more. I mean, I've worked on Magnuses and Cyclone Shocks, and even the Roto Fury I'd most probably take out to a super stock war, just because I have those worker barrels that Clowny sent me a while back. But there is a few things I do want to actually say that I'm actually a little disappointed on. One is not so much the size, but honestly the weight of this. Well, actually, yeah, and also the size too. This is a chunky blaster. Now, I mean, you need that chunk in it because you need the mega plunger tube. You need that gear system in order to make sure everything primes right. You do have a lot of dead space in the back here. And 10 mega barrels, 5 stacked, that's pretty hefty. I mean, the dual strike is a pretty chunky front, and that's only 3 of them. 4 if you maybe count what the triad up on top was. So, I mean, I can understand the front end being pretty chunky, but I think they could have tried to slim this down a little bit. The other thing is pricing. Now, they doubled the size of the Roughcut to make this, but they also doubled the cost of it, because you can go to Target, get one of these for like 20 bucks. You go to Target, you're getting this for 40. And that's, in my opinion, a little steep for this. Now, as much as I love this thing, 40 bucks, I don't know if I would pay 40 for a second one of these. I would probably pay 30 for a second one of these, definitely. This is a $30 blaster, hands down. I really don't know if this is a $40 blaster, because you're getting elite performances out of smaller darts for 20 bucks out of this thing. And honestly, I think the gear system in here may just be maybe a little bit more complicated, if not as complicated as this. But, I mean, you're basically just paying double the price for the plastic, really. It does have an extra 2 shots, which, fine, I'll give it that, but really, this is a Roughcut. You're paying 40 bucks for a double-sized Roughcut. I mean, for this kind of price, you could actually make a hex shot and still be within the ballpark of it, even with the dual strikes and, well, maybe not the dual strikes, but if you can find the dual strikes on clearance or thrifting, a Roughcut and the materials needed, you could build that thing for less than 40 bucks. Maybe not full retail, but over and all, I gotta say, I am still very happy with this. The only issue I had was really the price. The price is a little steep for it, but that's honestly everything I got to say about the Twinshock. So let me know what you think of the Twinshock. Throw me a comment down below. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you prefer Clanny's Hex Shot over this? Tell me your thoughts. Also, I have APOC coming up actually in 2 days. Hopefully I'll be able to get this out the Friday beforehand. So my next video is actually going to be my annual APOC Nerf War video. And then after that, it's going to be my 100th video. So if you haven't submitted a question to the 100th video question video, definitely go check that out. I'll see if I can maybe put it here or something. And then even if you don't want to go leave it on there, if you don't want to be like, I don't want to watch another video, throw me my question down here. I'll answer. I'll save any questions from here until my 100th video for the 100th video. So that's everything for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for sticking with me. As always, if you like my videos, throw me a like and subscribe. Leave me a comment down below. Click the little bell icon to get notified of whenever I'm actually uploading. And that's it for me. So I'll see you guys next time. Later.